Hi everybody, and welcome to part 3 of my Russian ball review. In this one I'm going to be talking about the fill-it-yourself Russian balls from RenegadeJuggling.com, which are, as I've said many a time, made by Play, and the MMX1 Russian juggling balls that I made myself. First up, the one you've probably been waiting for most, the fill-it-yourself Russian balls from Renegade Juggling. I've never seen these anywhere else, but according to Renegade's site and the logo on the plug of the ball, these are made by Play. They're great. Let's talk about them. These are 30 grams empty. Shell itself weighs 30 grams, and I added 60 grams of filler, bringing these up to 90 grams. One of my favorite weights, not too light, not too heavy. The ball here is 75 millimeters in diameter. A bit large for me, but I really wanted to try them. They look great. Another good plus to these is they're cheap. They're $4.50 on RenegadeJuggling.com, and that definitely beats $8, $9, $10. You can go up to $15 if you want to buy some really good beanbags. These are fantastic. The sidewalls on these are really, really thin, so the ball doesn't weigh much at all. The filler takes up about a quarter, give or take, of the internal volume here. They're fantastic. One thing that kind of surprised me when I got them, the shell is solid. I was expecting a bit more give to it, but it's a very firm shell. This is good and bad all at the same time. They bounce a little more than I expected because of that. If all the filler's at the bottom and you drop them, they do bounce quite a bit, but out of a pattern, if they've been thrown up first and hit the ground, they're not going to bounce much at all. They will kind of hurt your hands if you have an open palm and they smack a bone there, but again, poor form, all that good stuff. They're great. They respond well in the air, they juggle much smaller than they feel because of the Russian effect, and they don't roll much. They have a nice dead drop. They make great for body stalls, body catches, all that good stuff. Mind you, I'm not very good at any of those, but when I get them, they feel nice. I like these a lot. I'm going to continue using these, especially for 3-ball stuff. I have little puny hands, so fitting more than 3 in one hand is kind of difficult, but they're great. They look great in the air. They're nice and bright, nice and fluorescent. I haven't tried them under UV light to see if they glow or show up any brighter, but I'd be willing to bet they might. These are lots of fun. They seem like they're going to last a while. The plug is soft, squishy rubber, and a bit larger than the hole itself, so it crams down in there nice and snug. I can see these lasting a long time. Because the plastic is solid, there might be issues if you're juggling on concrete or brick, anything like that. If they hit a corner or something just right, they could break, snap, or even kind of rip almost. But other than that, they're great. I haven't had any issues with them. I've juggled them outside, inside, all that stuff. They work well. Up next are the MMX1 Russian balls that I've made. These here are MMX1 shells. These weigh in at 40 grams empty, and I added 50 grams of filler, bringing it up to 90 grams. Because it's so dark in here, you probably can't tell, but the filler is, again, about a third of the ball. These are 70 millimeters in diameter, which I find perfect. It's one of my favorite sizes that I've tried so far. I'm even working on 7 balls with them. After the release, they're great. These made the top of my list. By far the best Russian I've made so far. They beat my Play Pit Russians just immensely. It was like a UFC fight between me and someone that knows what they're doing. These are great. They have a nice give to them, about as much as the Franklin Glow hockey balls, but the plug is much better made, so I don't see it going anywhere. I didn't put any glue or anything like that in this plug as well, just to see if it's going to last, not leak, any of that good stuff. The way I got these, I contacted Play and told them that I wanted to get a set of just the empty shells for the MMX1 balls. They sent them to me. These are a bit firmer than the shells on the MMX Plus balls, which is the same shell used in the SRX Russian ball that Play makes. Those shells are a lot squishier, a lot softer. Because of that, they tend to deform a bit in the air and make the ball wobble much more noticeably, much bigger. These have very little wobble. Because of the softness of the shell, they have a nice dead drop. Even if you just drop them straight and the weight's at the bottom, they bounce a little, but not horribly. And when they hit the ground from a throw, they don't bounce nearly at all. They're my favorite balls. They're great on body stalls, body catches. I'm getting so much better with foot stalls on these, using these. I like them a lot. I'm going to continue using them for just about any kind of juggling. I've taken these outdoors, indoors. They're fantastic. These are definitely better than, in my opinion, the Fill Yourself Russians, but only slightly. The Fill Yourself ones are great as well, and I like them for 3-ball stuff just because they look so nice. They're big and easy to see. As far as the Play Pit Russians that I made, they died. I filled them to 90 grams, and it was about a third, give or take, of the internal volume of the ball. I plugged 2 of them with hot glue, plugged 2 of them with melted plastic, and I plugged 1 of them by just putting a wrap of electrical tape around it. Of all of them, the electrical tape one seems the most durable. I think it feels weird in my hand because I can feel the electrical tape, and I don't like the way it looks. I was juggling 5 of these out on one of my local trails, doing 5 up, clap underneath, and going back into a cascade. I dropped 3 of them out of the pattern, 2 of the hot glue ones and 1 of the melted plastic ones. The melted plastic and 1 of the hot glue ones hit the ground and the seams ripped open. It was pitiful. I will never be using a set of Play Pit Russian balls again. I don't like the way they feel. It was like these, but squishy, which is one of the reasons I didn't have high hopes for these. I like the solid shell. I'm not a fan of Play Pit Russians. If you are, great. If they're working for you, great. Who am I? But if you're getting tired of having to repair your Play Pit Russians, any of the 4 balls I've shown you here are great alternatives. They work well. They have a lot of the same effects of the Russian balls that you're using now. They might roll a little more in some instances, but they have dead drops, dead stops, and they make your pattern nice and small because the weight's in the filler. Collisions on all of these, I didn't go into when I was doing them. I'm going to show those when I'm juggling, so be patient. All of these are great props. Please, please, please stick around for Part 4, where I'll be juggling and demonstrating the drops and collisions on all 4 of these balls. And if you have any further questions, contact me here on YouTube or pardon me, or look me up on the IJDB Juggling Forum. Another great place if you're thinking about juggling to come get some pointers. Thank you for watching Part 3. Stick around for Part 4 and enjoy.